What's up, people of YouTube? This one here bringing you guys another video to the channel, and today we're going to be discussing Damascus. So as you can see in this gameplay, I did finally achieve Damascus. It took me a long time. I didn't play this like all the way straight through, otherwise I probably would have had this a long time ago, probably back in like January or something like that. But I did finally get Damascus in April, which, looking back on how long it took me to get the Dark Matter camo for Black Ops 4, which was, I believe, May of last year, I would say I accomplished a pretty big feat in that amount of time, because it is definitely a lot harder and a lot more time consuming to get Damascus in Modern Warfare than the Dark Matter camo that was in Black Ops 4. I think that's what it was called. I can't really remember. But it was a interesting experience, and I'm kind of here to talk about whether or not I feel that that is worth it, if it is necessary, and if you guys should strive to get the Damascus camo, or really just my opinion on it as a whole. I mean, honestly, it's up to you if you really want to go for it, but I'm going to give you my opinions as to why I did it, whether I think that it looks good or not, and kind of give some comments on how I think that the camo system should work moving forward. So first and foremost, I do apologize because my allergies are a little bit crazy right now, so I probably sound absolutely awful on the microphone, but that's okay. We are going to move forward with the video. So Damascus for me started right when the game released. I instantly started working on camos. The first gun that I got gold, I believe, was the Kilo. And then honestly, I don't remember the route in which it went. I did the first probably 10 gold weapons that I got. I did those all in the form of a video here on the channel, so if you want to go check those out, you can. But it was a grind, to say the least, having to go through every single weapon and do some of the most ridiculous stuff. The challenges themselves to get the camo isn't where my issue lies overall with the Damascus grind. It's the instability of the game, it's the amount of bugs that I ran into, it's the amount of times that I had to redo things, the amount of times that things were not clear for the camos, all to just get Damascus. And in short, do I think the Damascus camo is worth the grind? No, not even close. Like, it's not even close to worth the grind for what it is. I think they could have made that camo look 10 times better than what it was. And then maybe it would have been worth it. And it, you know, it doesn't have to be anything crazy like the Dark Matter camos from the past few games or anything like that, but they could have made it look way better. I think that a diamond camo would have looked way cooler than the Damascus. I think that they could have done Damascus differently and it would have been better than what we got. But the point of getting Damascus for Modern Warfare, in my opinion, is purely the clout. Being able to say, like, hey, I got Damascus. Like, when people see you with that in game, they know that you did a thing, and I think that is what is the most important part of that camo grind. Now, that being said, that does not excuse the developers for making a camo that does not live up to the standard of the work you have to do to get that. So you should be able to not only, one, represent the fact that you had to work extremely hard to get that, but you should also have something that looks very, very cool. Now, Modern Warfare has this issue where the camos in the game are not as good as the camos that are coming in the packs that you can buy in the store. And I get that they have to make stuff that looks as good as possible for the release of the in-game content to get more sales. I 100% understand that, and I don't deny the fact that that's important, but they can't take the highest tier camo in the game. Like gold, platinum / diamond, which is what I think it should have been, and then the Damascus camo, the top tier hidden camo. There is nothing that you should be able to buy in the shop that looks better than those camos for the amount of work that you have to do. You can take plenty of different weapon customizations and variants to skins and attachments and all that stuff and make them look absolutely sick. But if I buy that and I apply the Damascus camo or whatever camo I have to that's a top tier camo, I should not be able to find anything in the shop that looks better by default by paying money. I feel like that is kind of just overriding all of the work and effort that people put into that, aside from the clout aspect, and it's just so infuriating. The worst one that I can see right now in the shop is the gold camos. There are so many weapons in the shop that have a gold camo that look 10 times better than the gold camo we got with the game. I don't think that this is purely a decision from the developers. I think there is a lot of input from Activision when it comes to this. They say, you know, hey, it needs to look this way. It needs to be able to sell for these reasons, and then they have to go and do that. So I get it, but there needs to be something reevaluated there and looked at, because when I'm looking to buy skins, I don't want to buy, like, when I buy a gold gun in the shop, which I have done, I don't necessarily buy it because of the camo. I buy it because of the way that the gun looks. So like the way that you change the attachment variants and the overall look of the gun. Now, if you could make all of the guns do that, have whatever camo you want on it, but not make the gold camo that comes with that better than the gold camo in the game, and you can apply whatever, you know, camos you want to it, that's the way that it should be done. Don't try to get us to buy camos or weapon skins, blueprints, whatever in the game based off of the camo that you apply to it. Camo should be separate, either in-game or the ones that you individually buy, but never make an individual camo slash blueprint look better than the top tier camos in the game. That is, I just think it's a slap in the face to the true grinders in the game. Just like, I mean, skill-based matchmaking, I won't even get into that discussion in this video, but same concept, basically. Just don't, it just feels like you're slapping all of the dedicated players in the face by doing that, and I don't agree with it at all. Now again, this isn't to say that I think that Damascus is an ugly camo, because I don't think that it is. I think that it's good looking. It is one of the better looking camos in the game in my opinion. I just don't think that it is the best of the best, and I went through the grind. I played almost 9 in-game days to achieve the Damascus camo, and I mostly did it so that way I can say that I accomplished that. And my opinions of Modern Warfare are not high at all, and I'll have another video talking about how I feel about Modern Warfare on where it's come at this point. But again, the things that you had to go through to get this camo and the payoff that you get from it is not very high, aside from the clout aspect, quote unquote clout, if you even want to call it that. But I would like to know your guys' opinion. Do you think that Damascus is worth it? Have you grinded for it? Are you going to grind for it? Do you ever even go for these camos in the game? My friends, they don't do it at all. They don't see the point in it. You know, they say, hey, I use 3 to 5 weapons, and all those 3 to 5 weapons, I only want to get the camos that that I like for those guns, you know, and they don't even really like the way Damascus looks. So I get it. And I also have a second question for you. To the people who do not want to do Damascus, you don't feel like grinding for that, how much money would it take for somebody to give you in order to grind for Damascus camo? Because I've heard some crazy offers. I've heard somebody say $100,000. I've heard people say as low as $500, and I've heard people say $1,500. So leave that in the comment section down below. I hope you enjoyed the video. This wasn't to hate on it. I just wish that they would make some small changes to how they do camos and customization in the shop. Outside of that, guys, deuces.